In this video, we'll answer the question of what ASUW has actually done for you this quarter. You'll hear from all of your 8 elected board members who are paid for by students. We've committed ourselves to working on projects that actually matter to you, as well as collaboration so that we don't waste time reinventing the wheel. Personally, I've been really focused on reducing student debt on campus. This year I started the Student Debt Reduction Working Group, which recently finished a financial aid literacy campaign that reached over 2,000 students directly, as well as over 100 student leaders across campus, with the message that all debt is not created equal. We also need to reduce tuition and expand financial aid resources, and we think there's some momentum on that issue. Just last week, the state budget was approved with a continued freeze on resident undergraduate tuition, an increase of $25 million in student scholarships, and a charge to the Washington Student Achievement Council to leverage state financial aid resources more effectively. It's also worth noting that some of the most influential administrators on campus are working in the Enrollment Management Advisory Committee to do just the same with our institutional resources. These are all great things, but we know that you won't be satisfied and we won't be satisfied until students see a real difference in their tuition statements, so we'll keep working hard on this issue.
This quarter, I've largely focused my efforts on preparing the association for next year. This meant chairing several task forces and review groups where we took a critical look at individual entities to ensure they were best serving both the employees that we have as well as students at large. I've also sat on the Finance and Budget Committee where we've put together the budget proposal for ASUW for next year, and the Personnel Committee where we've been getting ready for our spring quarter hirings. Every spring we hire almost 70 paid student positions, so keep your eye out for that. I've also worked with Elect Her, an incredible committee of individuals who planned and implemented Elect Her Campus Women Win, a program aimed at getting more women to run in our on-campus election. Well, that's all I have for now, but for all of you graduating seniors, as of this filming, there were only 95 days left until graduation, so hang in there.
With the many great celebrations that ASUW has had this quarter, Washington State Dream Act being passed, and the Seattle Seahawks winning the Super Bowl, we've been working very hard in diversity efforts. This quarter, I created the diversity calendar, which will be inclusive of meetings and programming all over campus, anything that has anything to do with diversity and diversity efforts, and you can find that at asuw.org/diversitycalendars. Another thing I've been working on is working with the JCC, which is the Joint Commission Committees, and creating our first ever meet and greet, which was the first week of March, as well as doing extensive programming for our first ever Intersectionality Month, which will be in April. We've been collaborating a lot through ASUW with the Ethnic Cultural Center, OMAD, and GPSS. Another great thing that we've been working on is advocating for the Pacific Islander studies through the Pacific Islander Student Commission. And lastly, we've been doing extensive amount of recruitment for those interested in applying for any of the Diversity Commission Director positions.
This quarter, I really had the opportunity to delve into some of the major issues facing campus. I'm most proud of the creation of the International Student Advisory Committee, which, composed of international students, will advise several vice provosts on issues facing these communities. I've also been working on degree completion programs and the program-specific students which will be admitted to these degrees, and what their rights and obligations are as students at the University of Washington. Finally, I've sat on several task forces, including the Online Education Task Force, which looks at MOOCs and online programs, as well as a committee which is helping the Student Health Insurance Plan transition to only serving international students. My entity, the Office of Government Relations, has done a lot of work this quarter down in Olympia, supporting bills that students care about, including the DREAM or Real Hope Act, which makes undocumented students eligible for financial aid. They also put on a very successful lobby day, which brought a lot of UW students down to Olympia to fight for issues that they care about and talk directly to their representatives.
So it was a fun and busy winter quarter. We started it off with a great service event on MLK Day, working with a lot of organizations from around Seattle. We worked with Earth Corps down in Beacon Hill. Also just recently, we had a group of volunteers come out from UW Leaders to work at the Roots Young Adult Shelter, where we help package their annual newsletter. Also, heads up, we're having a 2-week donation drive in support of Roots at the beginning of the spring quarter, so check out the ASUW Facebook event and come support us in the ASUW offices. Also, the Husky Pride Fund was really busy at work. this past quarter. We put out the application, received over 170 applicants for the Husky Pride Fund. We're really excited about this, and we're currently in the process of reviewing the applicants, and we'll announce the 2 Husky Pride Fund scholars at the beginning of spring quarter. Also, I chaired the ASUW SFC task force this past quarter, which looked at the creation of a new entity, the Student Food Co-op. Our recommendation is to do so, but the ASUW board will be making our final decision on this matter in the next 2 weeks.
Something I'm really excited about from this winter quarter has been the completion and final passage of the 2014 Elections Policies and Procedures, which are the set of rules which govern the ASUW elections process to happen in the spring quarter. On that note, the Elections Administration Committee is currently working to recruit candidates to run in elections and become the future leaders of the ASUW. If you are at all interested, I encourage you to check out an elections information session and to check out the EAC's Facebook page to get more information about that. In addition, our Student Senate has passed a number of important pieces of legislation this quarter, including a resolution in supporting Starbucks to introduce compostable cups and straws, and a resolution in support of greater accessibility of higher education. And finally, our tech team has been doing a great job with helping support our online websites and the functions of the ASUW.
Winter quarter has been very safety focused for me. I chair the Student Safety Committee, where we promote safety awareness on and off campus by creating our safety guide as well as promoting our safety video. We hosted the night walk with North of 45th Committee as well as the Husky neighborhood interns, and kind of surveyed the area north of 45th to see where we can fix light poles, sidewalks, and roads, and promote the safety over there. We also conducted the safety survey, which we had about 1,000 students fill out and tell us where they feel safe and not safe on and off campus. We're working with the UW-PD and SPD to promote safety on campus and increase the safety of our students here. Another thing I've been working on this quarter is conducting all campus meetings with the presidents of NPHC, IFC, UGC, Panhellenic, and RCSA. Working on creating more collaborative events in the future, so stay tuned for those. Finally, I've been planning the RSO Mixer, which will happen about the second week of spring quarter, so get excited for that.
Hi Huskies, we had a lot of great creative programming this winter quarter, starting out with our unique event, which was a series of 6 different ASUW entity events, really just celebrating who you are and what makes you unique. Arts and Entertainment put on the first ever Geek Week, ending with a trivia night with Ken Jennings. Then they had a silent film screening at the ECT as well as the roller disco at the IMA. Brainy Dog Radio had their local music showcase, having the most successful event and highest attendance ever in Parnassus Cafe, as well as they put out their zine for the public, just promoting what music taste they like, and also had a bunch of in-studios just inside their office. The Student Health Consortium put on their biggest event of the entire year, the Everybody Everybody fashion show, which was a huge success and we're all really proud of. A lot of great events going on this quarter, but even better ones next, so stay tuned for that like Swing Show.